Man. My Young Man lands in the lead from Bark Island, Uncle Ernie. They're all safely over the first. And it's My Young Man from Bark Island, Uncle Ernie. Towards the near side is Monumental Lad. And still My Young Man from Bark Island, Monumental Lad, Buck Willow not far behind him. Uncle Ernie's been dropped back to sixth. Over on the far side, last of the bunch is tracking the leader, but about 4 lengths off him at the moment, off My Young Man, as My Young Man comes down to the next, the leader from Bark Island and Monumental Lad on the stand side. Over the third, My Young Man from Monumental Lad. Slight peck there by Uncle Ernie in sixth place. He's got Remittance Man upsides him. My Young Man taking him along at a real good gallop. Moving up on the inside, last of the bunch goes second, just ahead of Bark Island, then Monumental Lad on the outside, and Buck Willow and Uncle Ernie as they jump that one. Remittance Man is next, and then comes Orbis and Devil's Valley with Geostar on the inside. Duc de Vendôme is the back marker. My Young Man is the leader from last of the bunch, second, and Bark Island. Monumental Lad on the outside, then Buck Willow and Uncle Ernie and Remittance Man on the inner, and Geostar and Orbis next over this one. My Young Man landed about 6 clear there of last of the bunch. Mistake there by Duc de Vendôme. Mistake also by Ferrian's Law. Coming down to the water now. And My Young Man lands clear of last of the bunch. Remittance Man making good ground on the inside, and Uncle Ernie towards the outer. Geostar comes next with Buck Willow. Over the final ditch, My Young Man, over the second ditch, I should say, and My Young Man, the leader from last of the bunch. Remittance Man going well on the inner, and Uncle Ernie going well on the outer. As they jump the eighth, My Young Man landed in the lead. Last of the bunch is second, Remittance Man is third, then Uncle Ernie 4 on the outside. Then comes Devil's Valley as they race now towards the second and last ditch, 4 from home, and it's My Young Man from last of the bunch, Remittance Man, Uncle Ernie and Devil's Valley. Racing now up to the top of the hill. Buck Willow was a faller at that one. Geostar also went, and it's My Young Man being pressed by last of the bunch. Remittance Man going well in third. Uncle Ernie going well in 4. Devil's Valley comes next, and Orbis is making very good progress now as they race down to the next. It's still My Young Man, 3 from home, who's made all the running so far from last of the bunch. Remittance Man coming there strongly. Uncle Ernie over on the far side at the third last. Remittance Man just with My Young Man and Uncle Ernie on the outside, and last of the bunch. It's Remittance Man, the leader now from last of the bunch, and Uncle Ernie improving towards the outside. Remittance Man now from Uncle Ernie, 2 from home, and it's the big 2. Remittance Man, last of the bunch, is a faller there, and it's Remittance Man from Uncle Ernie. Richard Dunwoody from Mark Dwyer as they race round the home turn in the Waterford Castle Arkle Challenge Trophy. They're coming to the final fence now, and it's Remittance Man on the far side. Uncle Ernie under pressure on the near side. It's Remittance Man with the advantage. Remittance Man comes to it a length and a half in the lead. He jumps it brilliantly. It's Remittance Man on the far side. Uncle Ernie can give no more in second. Devil's Valley is third. Remittance Man is going to win the Waterford Castle Arkle Challenge Trophy in great style. Remittance Man is the winner. Uncle Ernie is second, and Redundant Pal gets up to be third ahead of Devil's Valley and Orbis. And so the 1, 2, 3, Remittance Man, Uncle Ernie and Redundant Pal. Just to recap the result. First, number 12, Remittance Man, owned by Mr. J.E.H. Collins, trained by Nicky Henderson, ridden by Richard Dunwoody, bred incidentally by Red Rum's breeder, this horse, Martin J. McHenry. Second was number 13, Uncle Ernie, owned by Tony Budge Equine Limited, trained by Jimmy Fitzgerald and ridden by Mark Dwyer. And third was number 11, Redundant Pal, owned by Mr. P.S. O'Neill, trained by Paddy Mullins in Ireland and ridden by Conor O'Dwyer. Fourth was number 3, Devil's Valley. This is the winner. What a tremendous performance by this brilliant horse, Remittance Man. Unbeaten in 6 races this season, winner of 9 of his 19 races by Prince Regent. This horse out of Mittens number 93 for great season for Richard Dunwoody. 34 of the season for Nicky Henderson. The race developing into a tremendous duel at the third last, between the third last and the second last, between the first and second. Uncle Ernie far from disgrace, but just not quite the class of this brilliant winner.
Well, as we come down the hill, here's one of the fancied horses going to fall. He's in the middle of that 5. It's last of the bunch in the blue colours. Neil Doughty sitting pretty there. He's a few lengths off the lead. There's only a couple. There he goes, hit the top, and a typical second last fence fall there, where he just couldn't get that undercarriage out to save him. He'd have done so probably on a flat track, but that's what Cheltenham's all about. Well, it was all on here, and you might think when you see Richard Dunwoody first to go for his whip that Uncle Ernie was going to be the winner. But what Woody was doing was just saying to this fellow, right, it's serious now, old boy, you've had some easy races, you've got to work for your living. Just behind, going back in the blinkers, is Devil's Valley. He finishes 4th, but it's a 2-horse race here. Woody really making sure that he's not giving anything away here, but you can see there's a good stride from 4 or 5 out. He asks and gets it. Uncle Ernie jumps just as well. Redundant Pal goes past Devil's Valley, who's run a very good race there. My Young Man back in 5th. But Woody, hands and heels now. He readied the horse up. He made him get about his job, and now just drives him out. He's waving his whip. One little reminder, there's a lot at stake here. The horse going away for Nicky Henderson. This one actually bought by David Minton Bloodstock at Tattersall's Derby sale for 25,000 guineas, and looks very cheap after this sequence of wins.